What's going on, everybody? Been a while. Anyway, the last time I spoke with you, uh, I was still in the planning stages and doing some demolition work on the S10, kind of getting things prepped. So I've ordered a boatload of parts. Okay, so I got a bunch of parts in, but so I'm gonna start out with the 6 liter because well, I've got it sitting right here. Seems logical to go with it instead of walking up there. Anyway, so I don't know if you can see the bores in there or not, but there's no lip in here at all. Some of them you can still see cross hatchings, and to be honest with you, with an LS that doesn't surprise me. I've pulled LS's apart that had 210,000 on them, 205,000 on them, and they still had cross hatchings in them. These things are just like, they're ridiculously tough. I mean, if you wear one out, it's because you didn't change the oil or you didn't use good oil. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. The crank is, I've seen cranks come back from the crank shop that was worse than this. I mean, this thing is, it's in great shape. There's no scuffing whatsoever. I mean, the journals are smooth as a baby's ass. All the bearings look good. They didn't even look, well, I had some right here and I don't want to, oh, there we go. Main caps. So, yeah, look at this. I don't know if you can see that. There's like no, right there at the parting line, you can still see the overlay. Other than that, they look great. There's no brass showing anywhere, which just, it blows my mind. Anyway, thing is super clean. I'm going to send it to the local machine shop, which is literally a mile and a half from my house. They just moved in there. I've looked them up online. They got a pretty good reputation, so I'm going to try them out. Page Racing Engines. I'll have them deck it or just clean the deck up and give it a good bath. I got to get all the plugs out of it still. I don't know if I'm going to use that oil pan or not. If I am, I'm going to modify the oil filter boss, and then I'm going to do a remote on the outside of the frame anyway, so it's really not going to matter, but I'm still going to fix that giant bump that's under the filter. Alright, so now at the front of the S10, as you can see, I went and took the upper control arms off. I'm running out of time for the day. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'm going to pull those lower control arms off and the bushings and the springs, and I'll carry them up and have them sandblasted. I had a sandblaster. I should have kept the damn thing. I sold it. There's the spindles and rotors and all that. I did decide that I am going to do 2000 Z28 big brakes on the front of this. I did them on my last one. For what it cost, it is amazing. I mean, when you touch the brakes, you stop. I mean, four piston calipers. They're here somewhere. Actually, I think they're 2 piston. My bad. I might have told you wrong. There's my new Prothane bushings. I think these are the calipers. Oh no, those are my spindles. Those are my 2-inch drop spindles from front. Somewhere, buried under this pile of shit, is my front end rebuild kit, tie rod ends, everything. There's everything in there for the front end that I need. I think these are the calipers. Yeah, these are the calipers. 2000 Camaro Z28. I got to make the bracket, the holding bracket to connect them to the drop spindles, and I've got to take check this out. This is kind of, a lot of people have a problem with this because they don't know how to do it. But you have to take this rotor, and what you do is you flip it over, or you can do it up front. It's iffy if you do it up front. That's why I always do it from the back. Go on the inside and cut that lip, and you want to leave just this part. You want to leave just the outer face of the hub, and what will happen is the 2000 Z28 Camaro rotor will slide on over the top of that, but you have to get longer studs. You can get the bigger studs as well if you want, but yeah, you take this and just you use it on your new spindles because they are for an S10, but you just keep this part, and sometimes you have to have them machined to get them to clear the inside of the new rotor. I've heard people say they didn't. My last ones I didn't. I sanded them down real good, cleaned them up, and they went right in. So that would be awesome if this one did the same thing. There's all the front end parts. I'm going to see if I can find me a bigger sway bar. The other thing I've decided too is right here where this rod is, this seems to be the one thing, especially doing an LS swap, that everybody always has a problem with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to make a small gearbox, and I don't know if you can see this flat right here. There's a flat right there below the booster. I'm going with a smaller booster, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up with a gear and set a gear over here, and I think what I'm going to do is weld a plate onto here, and I'm going to put another gear there, and I'm going to run it down the outside like the old school, like the mid-70s C10s, and I'll run it on the outside. I'll have to reconfigure all this, but I'll work the logistics out of that later. So everything on the front end is getting redone. I don't want none of the old crap on there. If I'm going to beat on this thing and drive it fast, I want it to be stable, and I want it to stop on a damn dime. Anyway, so that's what I did today. Tomorrow I'll be back, and I'll do some more stuff tomorrow. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet tomorrow. I'm probably going to continue to work on the, check this out, this is my neighbor's. Good looking pickup. I think it's like a 77, something like that. Beautiful truck. Got a brand new 347 stroker in it. It's not loud. That's the crazy thing. You know, it's the one thing I hate about, well, it is an older Ford. The newer Fords, as my good friend Thomas Pence would say, they sound like hammered dog shit. This one, that is an old school 302 block, so it's got a really nice bubble to it. Sounds really good. I really like the old school Ford stuff. Anyway, so tomorrow I probably can continue with the suspension in the front end of the S10, and I'm probably going to take the block home with me, take that to Page, let them do their thing. And I'm going to get online tonight, and I'm going to order a shitload of engine stuff. I haven't really decided yet whether I am going to do, I'm probably going to do LS3 intake, to be honest with you. This was more of a, I don't want to call it a budget project, because budget went out the window a while ago. I've already bought, you know, over $1,000 worth of parts, and I've probably got another couple thousand to go, so screw it. But I don't want to go and spend $10,000 on it either, so I ordered a really nice fuel tank from DNA Motorsports. Tank was really nice, color was really nice, the welding was beautiful, given the fact that I'm a certified welder. So whoever did the welding on that tank did a jam up job. However, I couldn't get the cap off of it. I tried. I even took a pair of channel locks and grabbed onto the flip tab, and I was afraid I was going to break it. So I called them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just send it back to us." And I decided I wanted a bigger one. I don't know, 15 gallon this time, instead of a 10 gallon. I just have a funny feeling that with ethanol, 10 gallons is not going to be enough. I'll be lucky if I can go from my house to the freaking gas station with a 10 gallon fuel cell, let alone cruise, you know, for a few hours on a Friday or Saturday without having to stop and get fuel, you know, 2-3 times. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go with a 15 gallon. I'll just have to re-engineer my behind the cab tank and battery box setup. Anyway, anybody has any ideas with anything that I'm doing? If you've done an S10 project before, please feel free to shoot me a message. I'm cool with that. All lowercase transam 6094 at gmail.com. Obviously .com. Anyway, shoot me an email. As soon as I see it, I'll definitely answer. Or just send me a comment back on my YouTube page. I'll try to answer or reply to anything that anybody sets up there. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night.